Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live. This Friday, the 13th of August. I'm laughing because I don't even have to look at the date. This is not my first take. This is like my 13th take. I don't know how many takes I've done now. It's too many. I keep stuffing it up. Alrighty, let's get cracking into it and look at the three things that I want to chat to you about today. Um, Identify an ethical issue. An ethical issues change, and one group thinks is an ethical issue, another group may not. So, I mean, that can be there can be cultural differences, there can be age differences. So, like a younger age group might think something is unethical, but an older age group may not think it's unethical, or vice versa. So when you're looking for this ethical issue, if you're looking for the unspoken message, there's not a specific ethical issue or a specific unspoken message that we presume is necessarily there. Um, just go with your instincts and what you think is a problem. Um, if you justify why you think it's a problem, and that's all you need to do. So don't be looking for the right answer. There are many right answers, and if you're having a problem finding an ethical issue, it may be because of cultural differences, but there's definitely going to be something problematic within the case study that you should be able to relate to. So that's all I want to say about identifying an ethical issue. Oh, apart from, don't look for dozens of ethical issues. See if you can find one element that's problematic, one issue that might be an ethical issue, and focus on that one and try and relate your other stakeholders to that particular ethical issue. And if you need more than one to flesh out your word count, that's okay. You can add another ethical issue if you need to. Absolutely fine. So wider research for sources. So let me just go into Google because I've been asked about psychology code of ethics. Someone was saying that in the week 1.5, I think it is module, there wasn't a code of ethics or a code of conduct for psychology. So if I in Google type uh, code of conduct, um, psychology, psychology, Australia. It's already coming up with some results. Let's go with that. Okay, so there at the top of the list is the APS Code of Ethics, even though I typed for Code of Conduct. Further down, we can find Code of Conduct, or Code of Ethics. Either of these things are okay. Now, if I changed that to education, education, I'll get a whole lot of online resources for education. And I can see there are ones here for Victoria. Here's one for Victoria and South Australia and New South Wales and Australia wide. So where's that Australia wide one I just saw? Early Childhood Australia. So that would be not necessarily to a specific state, but that's sort of an Australia wide code of ethics. So that's a very simple and easy way that you can do your wider research to find a code of ethics or a code of conduct to help support your discussion. Now, the additional guidance that I'm referring to here is Tanya's announcements. So if you go back through Tanya's announcements and Tanya's Padlet, you'll be able to find guidance there for assignment 2. And of course, in my Friday Live, my previous sessions of Friday Live, you'll also find a lot of guidance for assignment 2. Here is the group discussion, the list of discussions in our group discussion list. This one is in group 10, but all of our group discussions look the same. I pinned these 5 to the top because these are where you can find the relevant information for the assignments. So in the general Q&A, I provided some references, some sources, some things that will help you to complete assignment 2. In the Collaborate forum, you can find how to access the Collaborate, but here this resource link using Collaborate, that'll show you how to watch the recording, even though I've actually sent you direct links to the recording, so you don't really need to look for how to access the recording. If you check your Canvas messages, you'll find a message from me that provides a link to the two Collaborate recordings we've already had. Those will also definitely help you with assignment 2. And in the assignment 2 um, discussion itself, I've provided some answers. Let's just go to the bottom of this. So here are some questions that I got during the week. What are they? There's a link to the Padlet. There's a link to the two Collaborate sessions there. There's an example of wider research to the psychology code of ethics, but I've shown you how you can find the other code of ethics or codes of conduct. What else is here? Can I get a sample of a case study? Can I get a full sample? So we don't provide an exemplar. So this person's asking about an exemplar, a sample of what a case study might look like as an answer, but we don't provide that. I provided some suggested formatting, suggested structure for assignment 2, so you can find that in the assignment 2 forum. What else is here? Where can I find articles? I've shown you how to find some articles for the Code of Ethics. The next question here, case study responses and unspoken messages. So I've provided some guidance here about citing the case study. You don't need to cite the case study. You don't need to include any text from the case study. You can presume that whoever's marking your work is already familiar with the case study, so you don't have to add direct quotes or slabs of text from the case study itself. You can just refer back to the case study by saying things as mentioned in the case study, blah, 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 and no need to cite or reference it. Do you need to include citations and references? Yes, to external sources. So if you use an external source, such as a code of ethics, you will need to cite and reference that code of ethics. And because a code of ethics is required for this answer, everybody should be citing and referencing a code of ethics or a code of conduct for assignment 2. So there's at least one citation and reference that will be in your list. And also, well, the future work skills, you will be referring to the future work skills 2020 reading. So that's at least 2 citations and references that must appear in your write-up of assignment 2. What else is here? What's the maximum word count? I've mentioned here the maximum word count is 1,650 words. The word count is actually 1,500 words plus or minus 10%. But we highly recommend you write between 1,500 and 1,650 words to adequately respond to the questions. And finally, there's another question here. Do we need to include a DOI? That's a document identifier. And if you know what that is and you have it, you can include it. I provided a link here underneath that explains more about what a DOI is and what a URL is. So you can, if anyone's interested, you can find that. If you don't know what a DOI is, you can look it up. It's not essential for all references, but if a DOI is available, you're more than welcome to include that. And you can find this information and more in the discussions by going to the assignment 2 discussion and reading the information that I've provided there. Okay, well, that's enough for me. I don't need to go on more about any of those things, I'm sure. I hope you're able to put down the mouse and step away from the keyboard for a while over this coming consolidation week. Take a break if you can. And for those of you who are working on your assignments, all the best with your assignments. I'll be back on Monday, the 23rd of August. If there are any extension requests, any 48-hour extension requests, I'll be able to approve those on that Monday. So if you apply for an extension after today, you may not get a response from me until Monday the 23rd, but just presume that it's going to come through. If you need an extension for longer than 48 hours, you will need to apply to Tanya through the tab. Just quickly, I'll show you where that tab is. I've shown it to you before, but there might be someone who's unsure. Into the assignments, go down to assignment 2. Oh, I'm not showing you. Let me go back in. There we go. I'm in the assignments, assignment 2, and then down here. So this is, how did I get here? I know that you went. So I clicked on assignments, then I clicked on assignment 2, and then down the last tab here is request for assignment extension. This is where you can request your extension. For a 48-hour extension, the left button. For longer than a 48-hour extension, the right button. And if you're requesting longer than 48 hours, you're highly likely you will need to provide some sort of evidence as to why you need that longer extension. Alrighty, again, that's enough from me on this Friday the 13th. Lucky for some. See you next Monday the 23rd when I'll be back. And a happy consolidation week to everybody. Bye for now.